Now, this is what begins to happen. It says, and the prisoners were listening to them. Can I just tell you that your captivity always has an audience? You didn't hear me. Oh God, why am I going through this, Lord? Because you have an audience and you have to teach them how to get through it. What if the prison wasn't for Paul, it was for the prisoners? See, God will put you in a situation just to cause an audience to hear how a true believer deals with it. You need to sing on your job. You need to learn how to pray and sing on your job. Come on, if the Muslims pray 5 times a day, you pray 5 times a day. If the smokers get a smoke break, homie, take a prayer break, take a worship break, take a praise break on the job. Come on, what if I told you it's not your boss that's a problem, it's your prayer life that's the problem, it's your worship life. Oh, these people get on my nerves. Yes, because your nerves haven't been crucified yet. But if you crucified your nerve, you can't get on nerves that are crucified. Come on, I'm trying to help you. We've got to learn how to sing and pray in prison because we got an audience. I want my kids to remember when dad was under pressure. Well, I got a song in me. Don't let the devil silence your song. Don't let the critics take your song. Sing when there's no music, because a song comes from your spirit when it's worship. And I'll tell you, you have an audience. And let me tell you this, your kids need to hear you sing. Your kids need to hear a song come out of you. And I believe that God's gonna give you a song. How many of you read yesterday's Daily Growth Journal? Yesterday's. Okay, let me give you a revelation out of that because it's gonna help you. So we actually had Herod, who hated the wise men because they got a dream, and that dream actually caused them to go this completely other direction. And when he found out about that, he said, I'm going to kill all the firstborn. Y'all remember this from your reading yesterday? But let me just help you understand something. It said that when the dream came to Joseph, he went to Nazareth, and he actually got to Nazareth because Herod hated him. If I could just break this down, some of you want to get to the right destination without the hatred. You need a Herod, because Herod's hatred will actually cause you to get to your destination. It was actually Herod's hatred and his desire to kill all the firstborn boys that brought them to where Joseph and Jesus and Mary got to Nazareth. Was it not Pharaoh hardening his heart that caused the children of Israel to go out into the wilderness? See, God will use people who hate you to put you in a different position. Let me just explain to you, Paul and Silas were in the jail cell, and by God's infinite wisdom, it was people persecuting them that actually put them in the position to reveal God's power. Can I just tell you, let them hate you, let them persecute you, let them talk about you, because their persecution is your promotion. Their persecution is your publicity. Oh yeah, let them do that because they're gonna send you to Nazareth. Oh, come on, God is in control. That's why we don't worry about it. We learn how to sing in every situation. Matter of fact, here's what happened. There was an earthquake so that the foundation of the prison was shaken, and immediately all the doors were opened. I had this amazing moment with the Daily Growth Journal where all of a sudden we were doing communion together as a family. And the Holy Spirit dwells within your spirit. But there's also the manifest presence of God, which is the glory of God. And so there's his presence in you, indwelling through the Holy Spirit, but then there's his presence around you in a tangible, more manifest way. And Christians understand the paradox of his presence. Are you all with me? The paradox of his presence is that God could both be dwelling inside of you and yet increasing your awareness of his presence and glory around you. Does this make sense? So when I was growing up, there was a moment where my mother and my brothers and sisters and I were learning these sacred ways of God. And we were learning worship and prayer and how it all goes together. And all of a sudden, here's how I pray. I pray like this. This is my physical motion. Anybody else? That's why we have to have hardwood floors, because I'll burn that carpet up. This is how I pray. So in this old house of ours, I went to go pray in the hallway, because there was this small hallway that led to the living room. And we had this atmosphere of praise and worship and praying, and the whole house was just filling with the sound of our worship. And it was my brothers and sisters, and we were younger, and it was my mother at the time, and she was in her early 40s, and we were just in the house, and we were learning all this. We didn't know this. We didn't know about all this. And all of a sudden, I went to go in the hallway to just walk the floor and intercede. And as soon as I took the first step into the hallway, I fell over under the weight of his glory. And I get to the ground, and I'm laughing and I'm crying. And have you ever just been hysterical in the presence of God before? And I tell my mom, come into the hallway. Jesus is in the hallway. And she's like, Doolittle, stop, because we didn't know the glory. We didn't understand the glory. So she was like, oh, stop messing around. We're being serious. We're praying. I said, no, come and see. And my mom goes to walk in the hallway, and she falls over under the weight of the glory. And she's laughing and she's crying. And then here come my siblings, and we're all in this hallway. And one of my favorite memories of my life was me and my single mom and all my siblings laughing hysterically and crying under the weight of God's glory in that little hallway. See, can I just tell you, some of you, your home is filled with technology, but not filled with the glory.